I was like, you know what? Let's make this official. Let's wear a shirt. Button-up shirt. Yeah. So hello everybody, my name is Andy Dre and today I wanted to film a really exciting video, at least for me, because I am such a bookworm. I love reading books and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to inform you a little bit about the books I've been loving during all the years, like my full-time most favorite books, like all of them, and there's a lot of them. I don't know how am I gonna do this because there is a lot of books and I'm sure this is going to be a long video. So sit down, grab yourself a cup of coffee or a tea and just, you know, chill. And if you like books as much as me, then you're probably going to enjoy this video and just watch it and be like sipping your coffee or your tea or just your drink and like, oh, that book, I read that one, that was a great one. Oh, this one, I should read it. Okay, I should stop blabbing. I should just jump right into it because I really have a lot to go through. I'm going to start from the other end because there is one book that is slightly different to the others, and it's because it's manga. And I really like mangas, but in here in Czech Republic we don't have many mangas. Maybe there's like a specific manga shop that I don't just know about, but this manga I was kindly gifted by my very lovely friend while she was in London, and she saw this manga and she was like, I'm gonna buy this to you. And it's a manga that I've already seen the anime of, so I've already seen it, but I really wanted to read it, and it's Tokyo Ghoul. I love Tokyo Ghoul so much, like it's one of my most favorite animes and it just looks amazing. Basically, if you don't know what manga is, it's a Japanese like comic book and you read it from the other side. So normally you would have a book that would start like this, but in Japan it's like this. So you start from the other side and you also have to read from the right to the left, so it's kind of confusing if you've never read manga before, but when you get used to it, it's very fine. And I loved this one, and unfortunately I would still say I prefer the anime over the manga because these mangas can get quite expensive, and although I love I'm sorry, my voice is gone. Although I love reading, and usually I prefer reading over like books over films, I think that with this one I would actually prefer the anime because it's like a lot more action and you can see a lot more happening and it's in color and stuff. And so the anime is probably better than this manga, but I still frippin' love it, and whenever I have a bath I read it. It's like, I don't know, it's like scary because you're like in the bath and waiting and for a ghoul to come and eat you. So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul. By the way, it's by Sui Ishida, if you didn't know. Then also a book that is something that I would never usually share because the usual English books that I read are usually... how many times am I gonna say usually? Usually I read like young adult English books when I read in English, or classics, to be honest. I read like Oliver Twist or The Picture of Dorian Gray and stuff, but usually I read young adult books when it's in English, but this is like a criminal, like a thriller or detective book, you can say. And it's called Kill Me If You Can by James Patterson, and oh my god, this book was amazing. I love detective books, like all year round I read the detective books, but usually by I don't know where he's from, to be honest, but I usually read the northern ones, so like from Sweden and Norway and stuff. And this guy, I believe, is from America or England. I'm not really sure, but I don't think he's just judging by the name, I don't think he's from the north. And this one was amazing. I just read it and I was like in the scene, like I could picture it so well. It was so well described that I could really picture it, and I was like, literally my heart was like beating so fast because I felt like I was in the book and I was like watching everything and being a part of it. And literally I read this, I couldn't stop reading it. I was like walking to my dance practice and I was like reading and nearly got run over by a car because I was just so sucked into this book. It's impossible, and I so want to read it again. And since that time I've been reading a lot of books by James, but they have a lot of them in our local bookstore, or like not bookstore, library, but they're in Czech obviously, so when it's in Czech it kind of isn't, you know, the words aren't really his, so it kind of takes away the feeling like I'm in the scene, because I feel like it's like described from a distance, wherever in English it's like you're actually there. So yeah, this is a really good book for like if you want something to boost your adrenaline. Then I have a Czech book, and this book is quite thin, to be honest. I read it in like one day because it's really thin. But it's by, I don't know how to pronounce his surname, I'm really sorry, but Paulo Coelho? I really don't know, I'm sorry, but it's the guy who wrote Alchemist, which is also a book that I read. And this is Veronica Decides to Die, and it's one of my most favorite books. Like, it's about a lady or a girl, or I don't know how to call her, and she wants to die, so she takes some pills, and she doesn't die actually, but she is transferred to like a psychiatric clinic, and well, they tell her that she, because of the medicine that she ate, that she's going to die in like, I don't know, a week, or I'm not really sure, but like in a few days that she's gonna die. And you are kind of like experiencing with her the fact that she actually doesn't want to die when she's told she's gonna die. So yeah, this is like her journey to like start liking living again, I guess, and it's really good. I really liked it. Then I have another Czech book, and it's by Justin Garder, and it's Sophie's World. And this is a book about philosophy. So if you do not like that, then don't buy this book. But I was quite interested in philosophy at some point in my life, and this is amazing. It's about a girl, a teenage girl, who receives letters by this strange man, and he teaches her everything he knows about philosophy. And she's kind of like walking through world and seeing like philosophy in actual world and stuff, and she learns about everything, like from the beginning to like now. So it's really good. It's quite thick, and to be honest, if I were to read it again, I would definitely take notes, because I read this in the hospital, and to be honest, you get sucked in this and like the time flies by so quickly. But I kind of wish I would take notes, because now I would really like to look at them and read about all these philosophers and what they kind of said and stuff, because I forgot the most of it. So I'm probably gonna have to read it again and take notes. Then moving on to more fantasy books. The first one I have is again in Czech, and it's The Crown of Three, The Cursed King. And it's by J.D. Reinhardt. And this is something, it says on the what is it, on the front cover, it says that it's something like Game of Thrones but for younger readers. And I really wanted to try it because I've read Game of Thrones and I really liked it, but I wanted to try what it's like without the nudity, like the violence, that's how you say it, and stuff, and without all the blood and stuff, you know. I wanted to try to read like an more of a fairy tale-ish Game of Thrones story, and this really surprised me. I did not expect this. This was such a great book. At first, when I was like, this is for young adults, I was like, is it gonna be like super for young adults, like super like lame, I guess, but it really isn't. I feel like even an adult, I actually borrowed this to my grandma, who really wanted to read it, and I recommended her this book, and she also sometimes likes to read fantasy, and she really liked it, although it's for young adults. And it's about like three triplets basically, and they are like there's a king, their father, who is cursed that he's gonna have a triplets and they're going to take over his like throne, you know. Someone kind of saves the kids and takes them all around the country, so like they're spreaded, but then actually at some point they just collide and they meet each other, and they really want to stop the king's cruelty and want to take him down. And this is the book about it, and it's really good. Next, I have 2 books at a time. These 2, I actually have 3 by this author, but these 2 are my most favorite, and it's by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and it's, I forgot the name, sorry. It's The Prince of Mist, and this is actually, it would be Las Luces de Septiembre, but in English it's actually called the... what? Oh, The Watcher in the Shadows. And so I don't know why is that, but these books are like fantasy books, and again they're for like young adult readers, but to be honest I feel like anyone could read them again, because I even lent this to my mom and to my grandma, and they both loved it. And it's quite horror-ish, like it's like fantasy, and for example in this one there are like moving what are they, like statues, and there's like a big toy factory, and all the toys are actually alive and want to kill the people, and so it's quite horror-ish. And this one is about someone who died when like some boat or some ship collided, and they died, and their ghost is like appearing every night, and they are really emotional. Like, I was crying. Like, he is such a good writer, and to be honest, I'm learning Spanish, and I would really like to read these books one day in Spanish, because I feel like that would be an amazing experience, because I would really like to hear his like original words, but to be honest it's translated very well. So yeah, Prince of Mist and The Watcher in the Shadows. Then I have the biggest book that is like in this book review, and it's this, which is The Blood Song, A Raven's Shadow. And well, I have the full trilogy of this. I have the 3 books. All 3 are this thick, maybe even thicker. And I've read 2 of them so far. I haven't read the last one yet, but they are amazing. Like, they are about like boys who are kind of training to, they're in like a cult or something, and they are training, and basically I can't really describe it because I feel like I could spoil it, but is there anything I can read? Well, basically they teach them how to kill people and stuff, and they have like different challenges, like for example they put all the guys on one boat and then drive one like car or something, not a car, but like you know what I mean, on horses for example, and ride somewhere very far, and then like drop the boys like all over the country, and then they have to survive for like few days and stuff, and it's also really emotional because there are people dying. You kind of get attached to all the boys that are in the cult, and then they die because something happens to them, and it's really emotional. And in the other books they have more cults, and every cult is something like Divergent, I don't know how you pronounce it, where you have the different sections, and one of them is like the killer ones, one of them is like the genius ones and stuff. And this is similar. There are kind of like cults for peacemakers and stuff like that, and they, at some point there's like a war between them, or like some kind of rebellion, and they try to, and the ones that are trained to kill are like the ones that are like in the charge of it. And it's really, really tense, like the tension is real in this. And it's by Anthony Ryan. Then we move on to my favorite part of the books, which is the young adult English books. Firstly, I would like to talk about a book that is probably my most favorite book ever, and it's All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I read this like 2 years ago, I believe, and I loved it. Like, it kind of brought me to this world of young adult English books. Like, I've never read them before, and when I tried to read All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, I fell in love with all that writing style, and I really wanted more. So I've been looking since then. Every summer I've been looking for even more and more like young adult English books to read, and just Jennifer Niven. I don't have it with me here because I lent it to my friend, and she still hasn't read it yet, so although she has it for like a year, but she still hasn't read it yet, so I can't show you, but I'm probably gonna insert a picture of what it looks like. And it was amazing. It was about a boy who tried to, or wanted to kill himself, but he met a girl, and they kind of they explored Indiana, and they like fell in love, and she was like trying to get him out of the depression and trying to like help him to not kill himself and stuff. And it's really emotional and it's gorgeous, so that is something you must read. Next book that you probably could have seen on my channel already is 13 Reasons Why. This is a very similar book. Like, you can kind of get the vibe I'm going for. It's most of the books that are my favorites are suicidal because I just love that theme. I know it sounds horrible, but I kind of associate with it the most, so yeah. And this, I have a hair in it. Okay, great. This book is about a girl, Hannah, who kills herself, and she kind of leaves tapes, like tapes, radio tapes or something, and she records 13 reasons or 13 people that made her kill herself. And this guy is one of them, and he wants to learn what he actually did to Hannah, that she had to kill because of that, kill herself because of that. And it's like it's by J. Escher, by the way, and it's like it happens all in like one day, but you read it for like quite a time, so it's like everything happens, so it's like described very like, it's really descriptive, and you just kind of learn what, it's kind of sad and upsetting because you learn what awful things the people did to Hannah, and you kind of learn what reasons are for people to kill themselves, like what reasons they have to do this. And it's quite like, you know, you just learn more stuff about suicide, and it's gorgeous. And I actually heard there's a TV series of this, and I think I should watch it because I haven't yet. The next is, it's kind of a funny story by Nan Vizzini. I love this book. This should probably be also one of my most favorite books because I read this last summer and I love it. It's about a boy, again, who wants to kill himself, but he ends up changing his mind, and he calls the ambulance and he goes to the hospital, and they like put him on a psychiatric clinic, and he's there for like 3 days, and he kind of sees what the other people there, what they did, and if they wanted to kill it. For example, he sees a girl who has like a scar all over her face and stuff, some girl who self-harmed, or people that are schizophrenic or stuff like that. And it's really also, you learn a lot of stuff about people. And actually the thing that most spoke to me is that Ned Vizzini was in a psychiatric clinic himself, so that's why he wrote this book. And sadly, very sadly, he actually ended up killing himself. And so although a guy in this book gets through this and just takes medicine and gets alright, Ned Vizzini unfortunately didn't. So that's really sad, but the book is really good, and there's also a movie. The next book is by Nicola Yoon, and it's Everything Everything. And this book I found out about because of Zoella, who did her like book club, and she talked about this book, and it's gorgeous. It's like about a girl who apparently has a disease that she cannot go outside, she cannot like touch like certain things, everything has to be like clean or she could die or something. So she's locked up in her room. Her room is white, she has only white t-shirts, white clothes. She is studying using Skype or something. She has a mother who takes care of her, she has a nurse who takes care of her, but one day there's a boy next door and she falls in love, and suddenly she wants to go outside, she wants to kiss him, she wants to just be with him. And it's a very pretty love story of someone who really, someone's heart that really desires love but cannot get it, and it's really pretty and I really liked it. Then also one of my most favorite books, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky? I don't know, you know what I mean. This book is amazing. It's about a boy called Charlie who kind of has like trauma from his past. Like I still don't really know what happened. I think his aunt died, and he wants to get through this, and he's new on the school, and he kind of writes letters to an anonymous person, and he always writes that "Love Charlie" at the end. I have a flower in this. Look, flower. He always writes "Love Charlie" at the end, and he kind of is new to the school, and he meets Patrick and Sam, and at first he falls in love with Sam, but then he learns that it's not the best idea, and he kind of learns how to live properly with these friends, and they are having the like most adventurous adventures, and it's amazing. And he's such like a little kid, although he's not. He acts like a little kid because he's like, so he doesn't know about stuff. Like he is so like, when he falls in love, he's like, I want to kiss this girl. What is kissing? And he's like this, and it's really adorable, and I really liked it, and I read it like 5 times. And there's even a movie with Emma Watson, and you should watch it if you haven't seen it. Like, you really should. Then I have I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I also read The Sky Is Everywhere, but I didn't like it that much, or at least not as much as this one. This one is gorgeous. It's about a girl, like it's about twins, and they are like the best of friends, like since they were born. but at some point they kind of separate because the girl is a sculptor and the guy is a painter, and well, they kind of, I kind of don't remember how the story goes exactly, but there's like something, they try to both go to one school, and he's like, she thinks that she's not gonna get to the school, get on that school, and he's like, okay, so I'm not gonna send my my like portfolio there because she's not gonna get there and it will make her sad if I would get there, or something like that. I'm not really sure, don't quote me on this, but at the end she ends up being taken to the school, he doesn't, and they kind of separate because they both start having different lives and stuff. And in this book it's a lot about like a relationship between brother and sister, and also mostly I love this because of the art, because I love art, and when someone is a painter and his sister is a sculptor, it's like a heaven for me because I love books like this. So yeah, that's what this is about, and they just trying to fall in love with each other again, but like as like siblings, obviously. But it's really pretty. It's because I am not that keen on like love stories, like real love stories, but this is a kind of different love and I really like it. Then I've got two more books that unfortunately I don't have here with me, but I'm gonna insert the photos because I borrowed them to my friends. And the first one is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli, and this is a book, I'm gonna just insert it here. This is a book that is about a guy who is gay, and he's trying to kind of accept it. He's trying to, because all his life he was like, I just cannot be, like, I cannot be, but then he finds out that he really is gay, and he really tries to like accept himself, I guess, and just he tries to love other people, and it's really pretty, and it's also quite funny. Wait, I have got three books actually. So the next one is Trapped by Michael Northrop. That's a hard surname. And this is a book where there are, I think 5, I'm not really sure, but I think 5 students in a school, but it starts snowing like a lot, and all of the school gets covered in snow, and they are trapped in there. They do not have electricity, they do not have food, they do not have water, they do not have toilet, they do not have nearly anything, and they are trying to survive basically. And they are just 5 kids, they don't know what to do, and they are waiting for someone to just rescue them and stuff, and it's really tense, like you can really, like, it's really tense basically, and some people die, so yeah, it's like, it's super tense because they are just students trying to survive. The last, but definitely not least, is Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang. I don't know again how to pronounce the surname, I'm really sorry. But I'm gonna insert a picture of the book here. And this is a picture about Liz, about a girl called Liz, who wants to kill herself, and she runs her car off the cliff, but she survives and she's in the hospital, and then she kind of goes back and thinks why she did that. So there are like stuff like 20 minutes before Liz crashed her car, or like 5 minutes before Liz crashed her car, or 3 days before Liz crashed her car, and stuff like that. So you kind of go in the past, so you know that she's gonna survive in the end, that she's not gonna kill herself, but you kind of go in the past and learn why actually she wanted to do that, and there are a lot of people involved, and it's really like interesting to see their relationship. And again, it's similar to 13 Reasons Why. You kind of learn why people want to kill themselves and what happens in their life that just kind of twist their minds and stuff, and I really like it. But my friend, I borrowed it to my friend, like I lent it to my friend, so yeah, I don't have it with me, but it's an amazing book. And actually I had an accident. I bought the book and then I lost it for like half a year, and then once I just pushed my bookshelf out and found out that it's behind it. So yeah, so all the time it was there. But it was amazing, so yeah. And that is everything I wanted to share with you. I hope you like this video, because I love these kind of videos, because I love reading and I love seeing what other people like to read and seeing what's good and what's not, and just trying to explore more and more books. And I really hope you like reading as well, because I just love it, and sometimes I feel like in today's world I'm such an exception that I love reading. But sometimes there are people who also love to read, and I'm like, okay, it's good, I'm not alone. For example, my mom loves to read, so this is probably where I got that from. So if you love to read, definitely let me know, and definitely let me know who your favorite writer is, and what is your favorite book, and if you have one. And definitely if you have any recommendations that you think I would like, I would love to read some new books, so definitely let me know. And yeah, that's it. So just give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and see you later. Have a nice day and make today a good one. Bye!